Welcome back to the Live for Life podcast. I'm here in the studio with G-Dog. G-Dog, how are we this evening?
I'm good, but as you know, my workouts are becoming very, very repetitive. But I think maybe that's a positive thing that I'm still doing it.
Yeah, it is quite remarkable, and I'll give you some credit that you're still able to, even in the situation that you're in as an injured dog, able to adapt and still progress with your training. But are the pecs popping even more than usual?
They are actually, and I noticed it in the gym today. I definitely
Can you pec pop yet like this?
I can't quite pec pop. It's still sort of double rather than alternate. But
Any reason? It's quite easy just to go. You basically go right, left, right, left, right, left, or you can go left, right, or you can do them both together. You can kind of play a tune.
It's literally hashtag goals. Yeah, I still can't do that. But I definitely felt that my vest was getting a bit tighter today in the gym because I think I did my barbell it's quite tricky. So you're obviously not programming my specific program at the moment. I'm trying a bit of DIY because it's, when you can't do anything with your leg because of the blood clot. And so I'm going through all of your historic programs on the app and trying to mix and match just the upper body things together. But I obviously don't want to do bench press every day because you've got to rest. So some days I'll do bench press, but then how to combine the bench press with something else. So my bench press is now being combined with some pull downs, drop set pull downs, and some cable flies, but each one is basically but it was triple pec today. So because on the pull downs, I actually put into Google, not ChatGPT, how can I make the pull downs more effective for my pecs? And it did come up. Basically, it's supinated pull downs where your hands are closer together.
Yeah, but it's still predominantly a back exercise.
But it said it was good for pecs as well.
I think it's the best for getting some pectoral engagement, but it's far from a pec exercise. Can we just encourage that?
But
basically, so you're smashing out triceps now, yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically, yeah.
It's not often I let him go off plan, but he said he wanted to do a bit of DIY, so I've let him do it. So let's see how he fares, and maybe you'll lose discipline.
I'm never going to lose discipline, as you know.
The podcast holds you accountable. So, yeah, that's fantastic. But you're looking forward to not having chicken legs anymore as well.
Yeah.
Because you're obviously really struggling with those.
But how's your training going? So you obviously now have a new trainer you've had for quite a few months now. Are you noticing a massive difference?
Huge changes, yeah. It's really working with someone who's very much a mate of mine. It's actually... obviously our relationships I have with other clients as well, like that friendship element with your trainer is vital. Like you have to get on with them, otherwise you do just end up falling off the wagon quite easily. Not completely, but you do just lose that intensity, and you want someone to really get you. So having a mate in your corner writing a program, obviously from a qualified training perspective, really is vital. A lot of
people do actually say, and it's definitely the case with me and you, that your trainer almost becomes like therapy as well, because you end up getting to know each other very, very well over a period of time. You're spending 1-2 hours a week together. You're communicating over WhatsApp, if it's a good trainer you are. And so how can you not get to know each other? And so by definition, when you meet, you're going to say, I had a bad day at work today, and they're going to judge it, and they're going to try and work out how they can modify the training because you've had a bad day at work. How can I work out a way of firing them up, etc.? And so it's very, very important to make sure from the outset that you get on with the trainer.
Yeah, and you very much feel like you have that safe space because they don't know any of your friends, they don't know any of your family, so you just feel like there's that extra bit of security in the stuff you tell them. And realistically, like, you're not telling them deepest, darkest secrets as such, but you might be talking on a more vulnerable level, and it makes a world of difference just airing it and being able to do it in a way where it's obviously not therapy, but just having someone listen. So yeah, that is something that's been fantastic for my training as well. But anyway, Gino, should we crack on with the topic of this podcast? And that is about your training partners, and are they actually helping you, or are they holding you back? Now, we had a lot of feedback on the episode we did on how to get your other half training like you, which was amazing, and a lot of you guys love that episode. So we thought we'd dive a little bit deeper into training partner, and there are obviously some things that match because your other half may be your training partner. But someone did ask, look, I have a training partner who's not quite pulling their weight here, so we're going to give some advice on how you encourage them, but also things to make sure that are key factors in your training partner. So G-Dog, obviously you have worked with me as a coach, but if you were to train with someone, what are the key things that you look for?
Well, I also have trained with other people as well. And it's important to note that just because someone's your training partner doesn't mean to say they're doing exactly the same thing as you in the gym. You could be just going to the gym together. It's a motivator to go to the gym if you're going with a mate.
Absolutely, because you might have different training programs,
Yeah.
right?
So you're using different programs, but you're going to the gym because it's a way of socializing as well. You just say to your mate, see you down at the gym, 7:00 Monday night, and you train together. You do different things, but you're there together. Maybe afterwards you go to the sauna or whatever, and you have a chat in the sauna, but you're basically going to the gym together and doing your programming. So to understand whether that person is the right person for you to train with, first of all, do your goals match? So are you both going to the gym to actually get stronger, or is there an issue where they're just going to go to have a chat with other people, and that's not necessarily the same sort of thing? So that's one issue. Punctuality is a big issue. So if you're going to the gym with a training partner and they're always late or they're cancelling and stuff like that, you've got to think about changing your partner, because that's just not ideal. Also, what's their mindset like? So in the afternoon before your 7:00 session, if they WhatsApp you and say, are we going to the gym tonight? I'm not really in the mood for it. That's not the sort of partner you want. You want a partner to say, yeah, gym tonight. I'm fired up. I'm so excited. See you at 7:00. It's going to be awesome. Then that's exactly the sort of partner you want.
Can I get that a little bit more when we are podcasting? Because a lot of the time, I seem to get this idea that you have quite a busy, stressful job at times. So I try to sympathize sometimes, but I'll be like, oh, G-Dog, so looking forward to tonight. We're going to talk about this. And I'll send a really nice message or even a voice note, and I'll just get a great or okay. And so I've now, when I'm kind of annoyed at G-Dog's lack of enthusiasm, even though I know it's not legit, he's just clearly pretending to be busy, obviously. I just sent okay back, and I know on the other end he's like, oh, I need to make more of an effort.
You did that today.
I did it.
So literally, Angus was very excited about his podcast recording tonight, and he was like fired up and sending me all these messages. But I was in back-to-back meetings, I was busy, so I just replied, yes.
Exactly. But that is where energy is contagious, isn't it? And that's something that this podcast thrives on, is good energy, because we know when G-Dog's not on his best positive energy dog mode, that the episodes, well, we've only had to re-record one, haven't we?
Yeah.
So,
But all credit to you. You fire me up, right? So I clearly have my challenges in firing you up sometimes, but you always fire me up. I don't know how you're able to do it, but somehow you have this ability to always fire people up.
Got to turn it on.
You got to turn it on, exactly. But also, and this is obviously one crucial thing here, that the right training partner, as they say, quietly raises your bar. And that's so important. The wrong one basically makes you feel comfortable. You don't want to feel comfortable in your training. You want to be fired up, excited, want to go. This person's making me better. This person is making me have a good evening, etc., etc. That's a great thing too. The other thing you need to think about is your training partner starting to become over-dependent upon you. And this actually can become a negative, because you start to lose individual autonomy over your training. If the person you're with is literally just there to be present with you and not actually firing you up in your training, they just want to go to the gym to be with you, and there's no sort of symbiosis and trying to fire each other up and make each other better. So also think about that. And you don't want to have someone with a negative mindset. The obvious thing in every single aspect of your life. If you have people around you that have a negative mindset, it drags you down. If they say, I can't lift this weight, I'm feeling really weak today, I'm not going to the gym tonight because I'm feeling terrible, it's just the wrong sort of attitude to have. So try and avoid having gym partners like that.
I think also make clear your roles as training partners. So if you are at different levels and you have a mate who comes, if you're a regular gym guy and you have a friend who goes, I want to start going to the gym, and you take them to the gym, you can never get frustrated because you've taken on that role of being the leader of your training partnership. And then the person who obviously has gone as gym, you've got to step up as well and be willing to learn. And that's going to be vital there. Obviously, there are training partners that train together and train at the same intensity. If you are at the same level, then just be really punctual with each other in terms of rest times, in terms of form. Never fear criticizing or giving constructive feedback about someone's form, because as a training partner I've been with in the past, where I've got the best results is where I've felt pushed, even by someone who's at a similar level to me. So that's absolutely vital. But one thing I would say to people listening to this who feel like their training routine is a bit wishy-washy and they're training on their own, it doesn't have to be that way. Having obviously a virtual coach who can fire you up makes such a big difference. But if you don't want that, level up your environment. Like having a better training facility, whether that's going to a nicer gym, whether it's going to a more community-based gym, will change the game for you, and it gives you that extra bit of accountability.
Yeah. This whole thing about who's the boss is quite an interesting one. So clearly in our relationship, you're always the boss because you're the trainer, and therefore you're always going to serve. If we go away for a weekend or something like that, then you will have organised a gym, etc., etc. But sometimes I feel like I want to be the boss too sometimes, right? So, but if I did that, you'd react quite negatively.
No, I wouldn't.
Really?
But that's where I think where we have that, I guess, level of friendship now, you're still, even though we are now so beyond PT client relationship, it's very much a podcast and a brotherhood now. I think you still instinctively think, oh, Angus is going to be annoyed if I say that, or he's not going to like that. When actually I'd be like, no, that's good. So
me showing some initiative.
Yeah, saying, oh,
let's go and do the gym and do this.
Yeah.
Let's go to this outdoor gym and train there. Or, I've discovered this. When we're there, let's do this. Actually, you wouldn't be, I'm in control, G-Dog. Don't mess with it.
Now you say it like that, I'm probably now freaking out going, where's he going to take me? But the best way to approach it is having a conversation rather than being blunt dog. So sending me an unenthusiastic WhatsApp would not be the way. But going, Angus, what do you think about doing this? I'll probably go, no, shut up, dog. But actually, yeah, I would encourage you. So clearly there's some critical comments you want to make about me. So.
No, not at all. No, just throwing it out there.
No, I love surprises. As long as the surprises are successful. That is one thing. Izzy, obviously, on our holiday in Greece, she was like, I know you like to be surprised, but I know you just like things to actually work. So we in the booking of the holiday, had a near hiccup, which was fine, but it meant having to stay at Gatwick Airport the night before because the flight was. So no, but yeah, you can organise something.
But have you heard about? Maybe it's a generational thing, but have you heard about the cola effect?
No.
Now it's not as in Coca-Cola. It's Kohler. Maybe in Germany, you pronounce it Cola. I have to ask Stefan about that. But anyway, it's a psychologist, I think from Germany or Austria, called Otto Kohler. And he describes how individuals work harder when paired with someone slightly more capable than they are. Not too much more capable. It's a bit sort of Goldilocks-y. Slightly more capable. And that's when you can suddenly do dramatically better. So I don't know how they came up with this precise figure, but if a person is 5 to 15% more capable than you, so I don't know how you define whether Angus is 5 to 15% more capable than me. Maybe his pec popping is 15% better than mine. But anyway, if you're 5 to 15% better, then that's the perfect way to inspire but not intimidate. So I think Angus is quite good at that. You inspire me, but don't. Well, sometimes with the pec popping you do. You don't always intimidate me. So that's quite important. And I found a study about the Kohler effect. It was in 2012 in the Psychology of Sport and Exercise. And that found participants that were exercising with a slightly superior partner trained 24% longer than those that trained with an equal partner. So I don't know whether the person that was superior, therefore, trained very badly because he's training with an inferior person. But the person who's clearly slightly worse gets a lot out of that. So that would explain why a personal trainer is very, very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're training with someone that's better than you, you get much, much better.
God, that is a fascinating. I love it how you actually found a study there. But I also would add, I think where our friendship has developed so much, and I know it's going slightly off the gym topic, is how well we complement each other with what we bring to our friendship. And that can be taken into people who are gym partners as well. Because one of my dad's favourite sayings is, surround yourself with people better than you, just don't tell them. And it is true. And that is the 5 to 15%.
Yeah.
It's where can that person take you further. So obviously in this podcast, we have worked out in the time we've been doing this, our brains are completely different, like completely different. But that's why the podcast works. So actually it's 5 to 15% better, yes, but the person who feels inferior, so let's say as a gym partner, what can you bring to the table that would actually be your 5 to 15% better than your gym partner? And that doesn't mean it has to be the training. It could just be in the conversation itself.
Yeah, exactly. I was literally about to say that. It's really important. I think it's in every single relationship, whether it's with your friends, whether it's your partner, whether it's with your gym buddy. Each person brings a different thing to the relationship. And so it's almost like writing a big long list of all of the things that you're probably 5 to 15% better at, and then all of the things that the other person's 5 to 15% better at. And you'll find loads of complementarity. And I think it basically in every relationship, because everybody's different, there's always these things. And you just got to make sure you avoid those clashes where you both think you're great at something. So, okay, that one we're equal. But where can I bring something to this relationship that this person can benefit from, and vice versa? And that's when the relationship becomes like really powerfully symbiotic.
Fantastic. Wow. I mean, I thought I was brilliant. We kind of got to a section of the podcast that wasn't going to happen, but did, which is almost when the best comments come out, isn't it, G-Dog? Is there anything else study-wise you'd like to add to that episode, G-Dog?
Well, I think at the very end is to say you don't need to have a gym partner.
That is true.
So you can train solo. And for mental health reasons, sometimes that's the best thing. So if you've had a particularly bad day, and if you're in a job like me where you're literally surrounded by people, I'm with Angus as well, you've got training clients all the time, right? So if you're surrounded by people all day, sometimes you just need to decompress on your own. And for me, being in the gym alone with music and heavy weights is, a lot of people don't understand it. And I just hope people start to understand this, but it's utter ecstasy. Just the feeling of lifting heavy weights at the same time as listening to music that you really, really love is so euphoric. And I've only started to experience that in the past 7 years. And I just wish that I'd experienced it before.
Fantastic. If that doesn't sell lifting, I don't know what will. G-Dog, always a pleasure to sit down with you. And thank you guys once again for listening to the Lift for Life podcast. Any topics, of course, that you want us to cover, please do get in touch. We've had some fantastic feedback, and we obviously have some very exciting guests to come in weeks to come as well. So please like, share, and subscribe as always, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.